Deuteronomy 33:27. The eternal God is my refuge, and underneath are everlasting arms. He shall thrust out the enemy from before thee, and shall say, destroy them. Israel then shall dwell in safety alone. The fountain of Jacob shall be in the land of corn and wine. Also his heavens shall drop down dew. Happy art thou, O Israel, who is like unto thee, O people saved by YAHAWAH, the shield of thy help, and who is the sword of thy excellency, and thy enemies shall be found liars unto thee, and thou shalt tread upon their high places. Call halal, YAHAWAH, BaHa, YAHAWASHI, BaHa, QADASH. Double honors unto the apostles, double honors unto the elder bishops. Salutations to all my fellow laborers doing this work in truth and sincerity, risking their lives and their freedom to do so now more so than ever. The 144,000 and the scattered elect that are scattered around the four corners of the earth, that be like unto the speckled bird, the Israelite foreigners among the heathens that look like those heathen. And to the Aquath that are listening and learning, to you, I say shalom. This is your brother MALCHAAMAH from the branch of the Great Millstone here in Chicago, coming at you another lesson in truth. And this was the motivation behind this video. Was a video that I just happened to turn on TikTok, and it was the first video that popped up of this guy at Sherwood Speaks Truth. And let me bring up his images, and then I'll play the video. This guy right here, he's wearing a hat with YAHAWAH on it and talking about the Ancient Paleo Hebrew, or the Ancient Hebrew, but yet he's still saying Yah and using a modified version of Hebrew for enunciation, which is fraud, committing a fraud. This guy here. And he goes into the word feast in Genesis, the first chapter, 14th verse, and he pronounced it Moedim, using this form of fraudulent Hebrew. All right. So I'm going to have to make this fast. It looks like my battery's about to die. You know what? Let me go get my cord and plug it up. So Salakia, give me a moment. I don't want my camera to die on me. He just gave me a warning. Alrighty. Let's Salakia. Didn't realize that it was not charged up. Okay. So problem solved. Call halal, YAHAWAH. Okay, got that taken care of. So nevertheless, this guy took the word for feast day, which he was, and so he told half truths. All right, because it talks about the 7 feasts. So that part is correct. You know, we know about Christmas, Easter, you know, and all these other things, but the Passover and all the holy feast days, we don't know anything about, which is a part of the, so he told a partial truth. And I'm going to play the video, all right? And that's what they do. But the problem is if you tell a partial truth, then is it really the truth? No, it isn't. It isn't at all. And we went into this word right here. You can see it on the screen. And he pronounced it Moedim, but it's really pronounced Mawa. Of course. Let me turn it off. But the first word there that he said Moedim, that word is pronounced Mawa'ida. Mawa'ida, if you're actually using the Ancient Paleo Hebrew. Okay, and just to show you how they lie about the Hebrew, look, okay, let me pop up the Assyrian script here. Actually, let's pop up the Paleo. All right. They have an E where the high is. All right. They have an F where the Y is. So that's going to throw the name of Yahweh off. That's going to throw the name of YAHAWASHI off. All right. So they gave you, well, they actually have the Yah. Okay. They have an H where Cha is. So these people, they're using this new form of Hebrew, and this, that was created by this guy. See, in the late 1800s, this guy is the one that added all those dots and things and sounds and those extra letters. Okay, because there's only 22 characters to Hebrew. Only 22. All right, not 26 like the modern alphabet. And they try to make it match, and they added all these, all these add-ons. But let me go back and play the actual video now. Let me find it. You know how TikTok is. You turn it on, it just starts playing shit. I really hate that. I really, really hate that. They need to change that. So let's play the video. So now all of a sudden Esau's doing sit downs talking about the Hebrew, the ancient Paleo Hebrew, and you have to go into the meaning of words to understand the Bible. All right. Wonder where they got that from. Nobody, because Esau wasn't doing that, neither the Christians, until when Jeremiah said what he said, all right, he said it a couple years back, but he said Great Millstone made the whole world read the Bible again. And it's true.
I want to show you guys something really crazy, and to do this we've got to go back to the beginning, Genesis, and look at the creation account, and you're going to see why it's so important to understand the original language when reading the scriptures. It changes everything. Let's go take a look.
You lined up crispy
verse
too.
14, then God said, let there be lights in the firmament of the heavens to divide the day from the night, and let there be for signs and seasons and for days and years. Now let's look at seasons real quick. When you think of seasons, what comes to your mind? Winter, spring, summer, fall? But is that what's being said here? Let's take a closer look. As most of you already know, the majority of the Old Testament was written in Hebrew, and the Hebrew word for seasons in Genesis chapter 1 is this one, Moedim.
Ma'awaidah.
Another place where this same exact word was used, and maybe there's a bit of a connection here that you've never seen before. Let's keep going.
Ma'awaidah.
Yah spoke to Moses, saying, speak to the children of Israel, and say to them, the feast of Yah, which you shall proclaim to be holy convocations, these are my feasts. Now what is the Hebrew word used here for feast? Guessed it. Moedim. Passover, unleavened bread, Shavuot, otherwise known as Pentecost, the Feast of Trumpets, the Day of Atonement, and the Feast of Tabernacles. Simply put, the Hebrew word Moedim means appointed.
It means appointed time. So, like I said, he mixed the truth with the lie. All right. Here's another one. All of a sudden, who's been using this all along? Look what Esau's doing now.
Was Christopher Columbus inspired by the Bible to sail west and find the Americas? The answer is yes and no.
How can it be both?
I'll explain, but
let your yea be yea and your nay be nay. I just did a lesson on this last night. So Christopher Columbus used the book of Ezra to come find the Americas, because why? He knew that the Israelites were there. He knew that the northern kingdom, all right, who were on the Assyrian captivity, all right, and once they got to America, started using the Paleo Hebrew again.
Let's watch this quick clip.
All right. He was very well aware of it. And he used the same movie and the same clip that we've been using for years. So, so Esau's trying to mimic us because he's trying to control the narrative. All right. Remember the word that he was calling Moedim is Mawaidah. Mawaidah. All right. That's how the word is actually pronounced. When you see that straight line in the Paleo Hebrew, it's a W sound. Okay? Let me see if I can make that larger. Let's go back to that image. Let's make it larger there. Right there. All right? That first one. See? Mawah The Y is an I. The da and right. So mawai. All right. Ma-wai da. So this man is a liar. Now let's prove that even through their own scholars that what I'm saying is true. That the things that this guy did, this guy here, that when he modernized the Hebrew, he corrupted it and he made it to fit the narrative. And then he didn't even use the ancient Paleo Hebrew because that would have been too much exposure and expose the fact that the Native Americans were Hebrew Israelites, because the Native Americans were writing and speaking in the ancient Hebrew. All right. And there's at least 100+ books to prove that, from the 1600s all the way up until the 1800s, late 1800s, in fact. All right. But let's go here to the UAB. Learning Hebrew, UAB, all right, with pride, okay? It says you can always do without the vowels. Reading the vowels in Hebrew doesn't really count as reading. You see that? One of the questions we asked by our students is, why do we teach the vowels, also known as nakud? This was something that Ben Yehudi added, especially since one of the challenges of Hebrew students are facing is trying to ivrit without understanding whether the sound be a, I, O, or U. And remember, there is no A, no eh, no O, no U, or no V sound in Hebrew. The only long vowel in Hebrew is the letter I, the I sound. All right. It says, as opposed to English, French, German, other Indo-European languages, all right, Hebrew doesn't have vowels as a part of the alphabet system, you see? In fact, since Hebrew is one of the most ancient languages still spoken around the world, the vowel system was never a part of the Hebrew alphabet. You hear this? Archaeological findings from around 4,500 years ago reveal even the letter Yod, which is Yah. There is no Yod, there's no O in Hebrew. Vav, there's no Vav in Hebrew. And He, there's no E sound in Hebrew, which today can function as Yo, I, Va, O, He, Ya, weren't in use. Hence, the Yum, or the UF were written the same. We also see that with the Shadar singing, because that's what this actually says, Shadar, singing and song were written. So here we go. Let's bring it up. However, those were added pretty quickly to the Hebrew language as vowels to the Tanakh, the Old Testament. They were already in use. So when exactly did we start adding the nakud to words in order to indicate different vowels? Those were gradually added during the time period when the Jews stopped speaking Hebrew. No, they were added by Eliezer ben Yehudi. So here they are. They told the truth, but yet they're telling lies too, because this is put together by Jewish people. And then when you jump down to here, we see the good example of this when looking just north of Israel. This is the area where the language spoken was Aramaic. All right. But why? So we're talking about sons of Shem who had their own language. They, not Aram's language. The Jews added different signs no, they did not. The Jews, the house of Judah, never went to the Assyrian captivity. The northern kingdom did. See, there they go with that lie again. And, matter of fact, let me provide the evidence. Let me grab this book off the shelf behind me. Hold on. Once again, let's bring out the evidence. Because here's the Hebrew that was being used during the time the Judeans were using during the time of the Roman conquest. And what do you see? All right. This is from a book from 1833. All right. Called "To the Traditions of the Jews and Other Ancient Peoples." You see ancient, hold on, I got the book upside down. You see the ancient Paleo Hebrew. No vowel points. All right. Okay? They were not using this, the Assyrian script. They weren't using that. This is where the fabrications come in and the add-ons. And the extra, because when you look here, when they drop it down low, that's an add-on. 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 Okay? And then they took the wa and made it a va. So that's where the confusion comes in. These people are liars, man. Oh yeah, and this one, this is an add-on. So let's read that again. Let's go back to that people are responding. I sent this out to a few people, including one of our beloved apostles. But through the Spirit, I think he's probably going to do a lesson on that. We'll see if I'm right. But let's go back to this Deuteronomy. Just the last verse. Happy thou, O Israel, who is like unto thee, O people saved by Yahawah, the shield of thy help, and who is the sword of thy excellency, and thy enemies shall be found liars unto thee, and thou shalt tread upon their high places. By exposing them and their lie, we are treading upon their high places. Last night, I got information that the president of Assyria came out and called them Khazars, called them what they really were. As a matter of fact, we might as well put that on the screen. All right? Let's make it big and put that on. We might as well. All right. But he said these Jewish people came from the Caspian Sea. All right. These were the images of the president of Assyria speaking. All right. They came east of the Caspian Sea, and he called them Khazars. All right. He said they had nothing to do with the ancient people of Israel. All right. And he gave that in the speech. So the truth is coming out, man. All right? That they're imposters, they're frauds, they're bastards. That's what basically the word bastard in Zechariah. Let's get that and we'll close out. Zechariah 9:6. And it reads, and a bastard shall dwell in Ashdod, and I will cut off the pride of the Philistines. All right, so both of the people that are in the land of Israel, none of them belong there. All right. And bastard, a synonym to bastard is fraud, fraudulent, and phony. Those are synonyms to the word bastard. They're fakes. They're frauds. And their time is up. So with that, I'm going to give all praises, all honor, and glory unto Yahawah, BaHa, SHAM, YAHAWASHI, BaHa, SHAM, QADASH, Kwam Yasharala, Shalom.